I also offer my loving regards to all of you, the good hearts assembled here. And I'm especially thankful, grateful to Shivananda Prabhu, the name, Shivananda Prabhuji, for arranging everything so nicely for me to come over here and creating the scope of Krishna Katha. So, it's needless to mention, I am also very, very happy to be here amidst the devotees, all the beautiful hearts. So, I also enjoy the association, good association of all the Krishna devotees. I feel that I'm in my own family, own spiritual family, Krishna family. And that's the fact, that's the actual reality. From the plane of the vision of our eternal Sharupa, eternal divine self, original divine identity, we are all close relatives, very near and dear, beloved relatives of each other. All we need to simply discover that eternal, beautiful relationship, what we share through sadhana, from the plane of soul and super soul. In other words, we need to discover our eternal, divine relationship between each other, among each other, from the higher spiritual plane, divine plane, plane of super soul. Then we just know that we are all related with each other. We are all dear relatives of each other in relation to the Supreme God, the Supreme Lord, who is the source or origin of all truth, power, beauty, and bliss. The things we really hanker after in our life. And Supreme Lord means He is the embodiment, personification. All those cherished objects, most cherished objects of fulfillment of our life. So, we are all a beloved family of Krishna, family members of Krishna. We should feel that way. That is the reality. While our relationship is discovered from the plane of perfection, plane of divinity, that is the reality. So these temporary barriers of mundane limitations will be over, will be gone, and our true Sharupa, original divine self identity will manifest, will be revealed in our life. This is quite possible. It's a reality I'm talking about, not just belief system. It's a reality we can experience. Basically, spiritual life means spiritual life based on spiritual experience, not so much on material, objective experiences. The true spiritual life is actually based on higher spirit, spiritual experience, experience divine. Our Guru Maharaj explained that in his own excellent term. Subjective evolution, world of subjective to super subjective evolution. Philosophical term, but we understand. As we have got the world of our objective experience, just material, mundane, objective experience. Similarly, also there is also a great, glorious world of our higher subjective experience. In other words, called as spiritual experience, world of divine experience. They're so truthful, so powerful, so beautiful. The great lives realized about that world, our divine dimensions of our life divine in a word. So, we, the true spiritualists, ideal spiritualists, never follow a blind belief system, but worshipper of the truth, self-evident truth, reality. Our life should be experience-based, realization-based. Worshipper of truth never follows any blind belief system, but a realistic belief system through which truth reveals. I just, it's my way to just speak spontaneously. So right now I'm also just speaking in a spontaneous way, the way I receive the feelings. Sometimes we become open-minded, open-hearted to the world of the divine truth, to the manifestation of the divine truth, the way it wants to manifest, without planning out anything in beforehand. Sometimes we also become open-hearted to see which way it reveals. Truth, higher truth wants to reveal to me before you all, without any pre-planning, without any presupposed ideas, because we deal with the living realities. From the far it looks like, spiritual world, world of imagination, some belief system. We don't directly understand anything. So many types of faiths and conceptions, conceptualizations are there. Different religions present different ways of the spirituality. Sometimes there are some apparent conflicts also. These are all superficial. Superficial experiences or superficial thoughts and feelings. When you go deep into the original level of spirituality, when you dive deep into the divine truth, into the unlimited ocean of super subjective divine experience, when we get uplifted on the highest plane of divine experience, plane of perfection, all these apparent, so-called apparent confusions or differences are all gone with the experience of truth, reality, in other words called realization. And that comes through sadhana. Definitely, for sure. So again, I truly appreciate all the good hearts, good-hearted devotees assembled here now this evening. I also truly appreciate Shivananda Das Prabhuji. His sincerity, spirit of devotion, laudable. Sometimes we also take pleasure to glorify, to speak the glories of good hearts, pure devotees of the Lord. Lovers, great lovers of the Supreme Beloved Lord. It is quite possible that we can have eternal divine love relationship with our Supreme Beloved in reciprocation. It's not one way. It's a reciprocational love relationship with the Supreme God. It is quite possible. Yes, we have to go for it. We have to be sincere. We need to be true to our own selves. Need to be truly sincere and go for it. Dedicate, devote to that cause. Then one day we can receive that highest goal of fulfillment of highest goal, ambrosial goal of life. It is a reality, self-evident reality. It takes some time sometimes. If the special grant of causeless mercy comes from above, from the Supreme Lord, becomes easy. Becomes easier to receive that highest goal of fulfillment of life divine. If it doesn't come, then we have to move through sadhana. Anyway, at some point, we are helped, we are backed by the special grant of the mercy of the Lord. No doubt about it. When he sees that absolute God, our beloved Lord, sees that we are truly at least trying to devote to Him. Okay, we have not become the devotee yet, but we are sincerely, wholeheartedly trying to be devoted in his or her service, sincerely trying to relate to the divine He, that Him. He helps. He sends His grace, bestows His divine grace, mercy on us, which enables us, qualifies us to go close to Him, to embrace Him, and be absorbed in His eternal divine shelter, nectarian shelter. Anyway, by the way, let me tell you all that we are the worshipper of divine He and She, both. Although just it's a lingual way, we have to say He. Others, every time I have to say He, she, but it's to be understood. We are the worshipper of Supreme God and Supreme Goddess. Supreme God Krishna and Supreme Goddess Srimati Radhika. So, the realization, top class realization of the great lives, of the great devotees is that the same supreme absolute reality reveals, manifests in both ways, as divine He and divine She, as supreme God and supreme Goddess. In some aspects, supreme God is beyond any kind of gender, male, female, or anything. But on some of the personal aspects, it manifests as divine He and She, divine God and Goddess. Supreme God manifests in mainly three ways, as described by Shukadev Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam. Vadanti tat tattavidam stattam yaj jnanamadhyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabdati. The supreme divine manifests in mainly these three ways as Parang Brahma for the Gyanis. Parang Brahma means all-pervading, universal energy, all-pervading, universal divine energy form, Parang Brahma, all-pervading consciousness form, in the form of power, superpower. For the Gyanis, for the yogis, the same reality manifests as super soul, Paramatma, realized in the depth of devotional meditation, realized through the profound devotional meditations. And the same absolute reality also manifests, reveals in this high class, super excellent, divine way as Bhagavan, Supreme Lord of all love, supremely loving Lord, who is also beloved, manifests as Supreme Beloved, with whom we can have so much personal loving relationship in eternity and be engaged in this personal divine devotional service, ecstatic experience of love, ecstatic love service in eternity, highest treasure of all life, super excellent, the super excellent treasure of all life, matchless, priceless, ambrosial treasure of life. What is that? Ecstatic love service to the Supreme Lord. Fulfillment. Let me sing some bhajan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Please, all of you, participate in singing this bhajana with heart, with some feelings of devotion, okay? Because these are called bhajana songs, no ordinary songs, but bhajana, devotional songs. So we are supposed to sing them in devotion, with some feelings of loving devotion. Then they work wonderful on the level of our heart. Okay, so when we can sing with some feelings, love feelings, devotional feelings, then they bring some very beneficial result. At some point, yells, so much result, positive results, nectarine results in our करता हूँ। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
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 गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवर धारी जय गिरिवर धारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवर धारी जय गिरिवर धारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवर धारी जय गिरिवर धारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवर धारी जय गिरिवर धारी
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
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 यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जन रंजन जय
यशोदानंदन जय जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जन रंजन जय ब्रज जन रंजन
जय यशोदानंदन जय जन रंजन जय जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जन रंजन जय ब्रज जन रंजन
जय यशोदानंदन जय जन रंजन जय
बनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी
Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari
Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari
Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari
Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamuna
Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari
Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Rasa Vihari Jaya Yamuna
Tiravanachari Jaya
Rasa Vihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Abhijana Vallabho Girivaradhari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopijana Vallabho Girivaradhari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana
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 Yamunatira Vanachari
Yamunatira Vanachari
Yamunatira Vanachari
Yamunatira Vanachari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bandiham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Nitam Nitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Nitam Bande Gurunisha Bhaktanisha Misha Bhatarakam Tat Prakasham Tatchakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangakam Guru Rupa Haringo Ranga Radha Ruchirucha Britam Gadadharan Nitam Bandi Bani Vinodabandita Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasasari Gaura Bhakta Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasasari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With offering my most respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my divine spiritual master, my divine guardian, Sri Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Deva Goswami Maharaj. I also offer my most respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my great glorious Shiksha Guru Padma, Abhay Charan Arubinda, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj, and my Sannyasa Gurudev, Shiksha Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, and all the Guru Parka. Thereafter, I offer my most humble, respectful obeisance to the lotus feet of my Parama Gurudev, Paramahamsakula Churamani, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. And I pray for all of their divine grace, divine mercy to be bestowed upon me and bestowed upon you all. The divine grace, mercy of the pure devotees, exalted devotees of the Lord, the great capital in world of spiritual life, in the path of spiritual cultivations, cultivation of life divine. You know the Krishna Katha. The nature of the glories, nature of the narration or description of the glories of Lord Krishna, the origin, infinite origin of all eternal truth, immortality, power, beauty, and bliss. It is simply infinite, unlimited. There are innumerable aspects to discuss about. Literally innumerable. Okay, unlimited numbers of the aspects to discuss about the infinite, supreme infinite, supreme absolute of unlimited character. I can I can just go on, spontaneously go on discussing. But with my loving regards to all of you, the good hearts, I would like to invite some queries, some relevant queries from any aspect of spirituality, any part of divinity. Sometimes while we discuss Krishna Katha in relevance with the queries, it becomes more direct, more beneficial. The devotee understand. He already raised finger before. Okay, who raised hand? Yourself? Okay, please.
I was curious to know exactly what do you mean by real devotion to Krishna? How does devotion manifest? Every individual has different feelings, feelings. So how actually I know I'm devoted to Lord? In what sense I come to conclusion that I'm really devoted? What are the factors or parameters where I come to my realization that yes, I'm really devoted, or I'm just falsely showing off, or
Your question has been very nicely and elaborately answered by the Holy Scriptures, by the realized souls. Let me try to answer in brief. May not be brief. Because, the definition of the world of devotion is so huge. Again, that of unlimited nature, infinite nature. It's a whole world of devotional love, loving devotion to the supreme divine, supreme absolute, most beautiful, most blissful, most powerful fulfillment, absolute fulfillment of our life. So devotion unto that absolute should also be qualified accordingly. Okay. After all, we are dealing with the Supreme. We are trying to relate, reciprocate with the Supreme absolute truth. Basically, devotion is composed of two conceptions of our feelings.
sacrifice and love. Loving sacrifice. Mode of the feelings, accents of loving sacrifice, loving dedication, that's called devotion. So in the concept, in the definition of devotion, there must be love, there must be respect. There must be respect and love combined together. It's a respectful love. Okay. There's so much happiness, there will be so much feelings of happiness to make some sacrifice for the interest of Krishna. When you will feel so much happy at your heart, you feel so attracted, so happy, so delighted to dedicate yourself in the service of the Lord, then you know your devotion started. Devotion is basically pure love. Feelings of pure love, pure feelings of pure love in transcendence. Cannot be defined in a mundane, with the mundane concept of love. It's so limited, so futile compared to the concept of higher spiritual love, love divine, in relation to the supreme divine, supreme beloved. Let me just explain a little bit. The mundane concept of love is so limited because it's so futile, so fragile, mostly based on temporary likings. Because I like, I love. The next moment, when as soon as I don't like, I don't love. I don't love anymore. All love is gone. It is very fragile, based on selfish motivations, contracts, conditions, terms and conditions. There is no dharma. There is no dharma commitment. No commitment of the higher ideals and principles in the mundane concept of love. But in the nature of love divine, it is based on principle, eternal ideal commitments, respectful love commitments. Not that, oh, because I like, therefore I love Lord. If I don't like, I don't love. It doesn't depend on my likings or disliking. There has to be some holy love commitment, respectfully love commitment in the very first place. Is one of the fundamental characteristics of the life of devotion, okay, nature of devotion. Respectfully committed love, respectfully committed loving dedication. Then Lord reciprocates to that quality of love. So, back to the point, when you simply feel so happy, so delighted, okay, so pleased, in other words, your heart simply becomes full of delight, pleasure, ineffable bliss. Okay, some transcendental ecstasy and bliss. To engage in any love services to the Lord. You cannot but do it. Cannot live your life without it. Then you know you have started entering into the world of pure devotion, loving devotion. The more you dedicate, the more you feel pleasure. The more you dedicate, the more you take pleasure. You take so much bliss, so much happiness and bliss. So much, ecstatic satisfaction comes in your realization, in your direct experience. That is called world of the experience of devotional love or loving devotion. But that is the world of pure loving devotion. In the beginning, it may not be felt like that. In the initial stage of the cultivation of that loving devotion, you may not all the time feel very happy or experience pleasure and bliss. Okay? But as you keep on, as you continue to be in the process with full faith, full confidence, in the promise of the Lord, in the words of His pure devotees, realized devotees, and the promise of the Lord that I take care of my devotees. Okay? When anybody sincerely accepts my shelter, or even sincerely tries to accept my shelter, I come forward. I help him or her. I take care of that devoted soul with that faith and promise. When you keep on cultivating your spirit of love, loving dedication in relation to the Supreme Lord, engaging in devotional service, engaging in the aspects of chanting, engaging in the paths of chanting and singing the holy names of the Lord, meditating on the divine beauty, aspects of the beauty, nama rupa, divine qualities, guna, divine pastimes, lila, accompanied by parikara vaishishta, or the divine characteristics of his relationship with all his pure devotees, pure lovers. Okay. Then, at some point you become devotee, great devotee. Great devotee means great lover, becoming great lover. Okay. In other words, a devoted lover of the Lord. Okay. Why I'm saying, why our Guru Varga explained the nature of love for Krishna, the nature of qualified love for Krishna is devotion, with the term of devotion, because the nature of love for Krishna is not just based on my own whimsical ways of likings. There has to be devotion. Has to be spirit of devotion, devotional commitment. With the feelings, I should love, I ought to love, I must love. If I don't feel that, it's my lacking, it's my problem. Okay, if I don't feel my natural love for the service of my beloved, in relation to my supreme beloved, my super soul, for whom I am alive, for whom I am blessed with life, I can live my life. If I don't feel some love, some loving appreciation for the supreme beloved with the feelings of gratitude, full respect, something lacking, greatly lacking in me. So, I have to love. I have to cultivate, discover and cultivate a life of loving devotion in relation to the Supreme. Then, what happens as a result? I become supremely gainer. How? Receive the goal, attain the goal of ambrosial fulfillment of life. In eternal ecstatic love relation with the Supreme and love services with the Supreme. highest goal of fulfillment of life is to be engaged in the eternal, the ecstatic love services of the divine couple, Sri Radharani and Krishna. Their combined form Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Okay, and in other words, it is called the ambrosial fulfillment of life. Ambrosial fulfillment of life divine. So back to the point. There are 8 kinds of loving devotional symptoms described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. 8 types of loving devotional signs. Divine, signs of love divine. Such as crying in joy, crying in bliss, inexplicable bliss, laughing, crying, sometimes feeling the thrills all over the body, mind, heart, thrills of divine joy and bliss. Cannot hold yourself, fainting. So much upsurge of the experience of bliss comes, thrill comes. One cannot hold himself or herself. Impossible. From that state becomes overwhelming. So overwhelming experience of pleasure and joy. That is pure love, pure devotion. That's the final definition, final conception I explained to you. But in the beginning time, when you grow some attachment, feel some attachment at heart to come to the holy association of the sadhus, okay, take the holy association of the devotees of the Lord, engage in chanting, singing and dancing with them, engaging in singing some beautiful bhajana, melodious, sweet bhajana, love songs for Krishna, engaging in some feeling some natural inspiration, happy inspiration to be engaged in some sort of devotional services to the same Lord, preaching, narrating His glories, okay, studying, reading from the Holy Scriptures about His glories, His divine pastimes, and also propagating it to the others, sharing it, sharing the taste of the divine pastime, divine glories of the Lord with other good hearts and feeling joy in that. While you have any leisure moment or any spontaneous moment of great fortunes, simply dive deep into the meditations, love meditations. You feel some sort of pleasure just to be in meditation, be absorbed into the meditation about the divine glories, attributes, pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Just to feel so good to think about Him, contemplate on Him, feel about Him. Then these are the signs that you are in devotion. You are to the eternity. A rainbow without beginning and end. Not a limited concept of the rainbow, only seeing like this. Overwhelming, all-pervading concept of the rainbow of love divine goes to the infinite, without beginning, without end. try to give you some conception about it. Okay? Yes. Next query. Oh, C raised. Okay. Yes, please. You'll be next. Okay. You have to have patience.
I wanted to ask if somebody would realize Paramatma, if they can also love Paramatma, and where they would go after they will leave their body, where they would go, if they would go to spiritual world, if they would realize just like Paramatma. So first, if they can also have a loving relationship with Paramatma, and also after leaving this body, and where they would go.
Tell me again your pinpoint query. Okay, I understand.
Okay, so like
Just
I've heard that there's also like realization of unpersonal Brahman, and they go to unpersonal Brahman, and they again go back here on planet Earth to have relationship with Krishna and to do Bhakti Yoga. But if somebody, I don't know if Hatha Yogi or Jnana Yogi realize this Paramatma, not like Krishna-like person, so I don't know if it's like first of all, if it's different to realize Paramatma or like Krishna-like person. Sorry. And then if I can also have loving relationship with Paramatma or somebody who realize Paramatma, where they go after they leave this body. If they are like maybe some yogi or Jnana yogi.
Okay, good question. Very clear. Anyways, it's a little difficult to really explain the definition or conception of Paramatma in English language in one word, although we call like over soul, super soul. Then we have to understand what is the definition of super soul. Okay. Yes, so let me explain again about the three aspects of the conception of Supreme God, Supreme Absolute Lord. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Sabdati. So, now, reflecting on the Paramatma conception of Godhead. In other words, the super soul concept of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Now, super soul, first of all, we need to realize what is super soul. What is the basic idea or fundamental idea or conception of the super soul? Within each living being, always there are two entities of the expansions, two entities of Lord's energy or expansions of the Lord. I repeat, within every living beings, every living entity, the two kinds of the manifestations of Lord, Supreme Lord's dwelling within. One is Jivatma, one is Paramatma. Jivatma, the Jiva soul, is also none other than Krishna's energy, Tatastha. It's called marginal potency. Krishna has three kinds of potencies: Antaranga, Bahiranga, Tatastha. External, internal, in between, marginal potency, called Jiva Shakti. And besides the Jiva soul, within our being, besides Jiva soul, Krishna himself lives in the form of Paramatma. It's a direct extension, direct expansion of Krishna. Okay. The Jiva soul is a direct expansion of Krishna's energy. Okay, infinitesimal part. Whereas Paramatma is a direct expansion of Krishna. It's not Krishna's energy. Direct expansion of Krishna's personality, personal form, a super soul. Now, but a Jiva soul is not in the position in general, unless a jiva soul is already advanced, but until it remains conditioned by the material natures, mundane natures, false pride, saroripu, 6 kinds of kam, krodh, lobh, moho, mat, matsur. As long as it remains materially conditioned, cannot realize Paramatma to be Krishna directly because it's still under conditioning, not liberated yet. Only on liberated stage can directly relate to Paramatma as Krishna. Jiva soul can realize. So, therefore, Paramatma is realized by Jiva soul in a more sometimes impersonal form as great friend, great guide, great mentor, great friend, great guardian, but more like impersonal form, in the form of potency, power. But when the same Jiva soul gets liberated, then the same Jiva soul can relate to the same Paramatma in personal form as Krishna. These are all sophisticated philosophical things. Unless I clarify all this, your conception will not be clear. I'm thinking whether I should go deeper into all the analysis or not. So, anyway, so yogis, when the great yogis relate to the Supreme God as Paramatma or Super Soul in the depth of their meditation, now I'm touching the point of your query. Now I'm directly coming to the point of answering your query. So when the great yogis starts getting to know about Paramatma, begin to relate to the Paramatma level, Paramatma, your own super soul, through in-depth meditation, profound meditation, then of course that yogi receives an inexplicable ecstatic experience, inexplicable pleasing, pleasurable experience to have that connection. It is very, very pleasurable, very blissful experience. That's the main reason the great yogis never want to come out of the samadhi. Once they are already absorbed into the level of the samadhi. Once they already entered into the state of the samadhi, the experience of that state is so happy, so blissful, ecstatic. They never want to come out of that. Opposite to the experience of some person just sitting in one place. How long one can sit in one place? For a few hours, then he will feel like getting up and walking. Legs will be paining and this and that. But in case of a yogi receiving the blissful experience of Paramatma, it's just opposite. He doesn't care of getting up. His legs, knee joints don't pain. Okay. He just sits in one asana and continues to be in the meditation for days, months. It is possible. Okay, in connection, some divine blissful experience to relate, to simply connect to Paramatma. Now, the nature of that experience of relating to Paramatma can be twofold. One fold impersonal, another fold could be more personal. And you also need to understand the kind of yogi I'm talking about. It's not necessarily Mayavadi kind of yogi, but a devotee yogi who not yet engaged in cultivation of the life of direct devotional service to the Lord, but yet cultivating some some tasteful relation, some kind of attractive love relationship with the Supreme Lord in the form of Paramatma, okay, and through the method of yoga, meditations, okay, so method, meditations, through the path of meditation. So I'm actually talking of that class, that category of the yogis. They have such wonderful, blissful experience in relation to Paramatma, and that is considered genuine. That kind of yogi never, they never have to, that kind of yogi has never to come back again to the mortal world or mortal mundane level. That kind of yogi never has to come back, never has to fall down, okay, to the mundane level, okay, like as it is sometimes as it is found in case of the ordinary yogis, who forcibly want to occupy the throne of the Supreme Lord, thinking, I have become God. Why should I be a loving servitor to God? I am Brahma, I am no more just a part of God, because as soon as I get mixed up, I get fully united, okay, with God. In other words, I enter into God, I become God. I no more remain as a part, okay, a limited part of God. I become God. I become Brahma. So now I have become God. With that false pride, and that okay, so-called yogi goes to occupy the throne of the Supreme Lord. Then, because of that offensive activity, he is hurled down to the material level, lowest material level, like stone, mountain, some sort of tree, stone, mountain, earthly stuffs, and stay for years after years. It's a different case, like Sayuja Mukti. It is explained. Okay. Come down to a very gross level of the consciousness of the existence. But other than them, those yogis who are devotees, like Navayogendras in Srimad Bhagavatam, they are also great yogis. Yoga, not only yogis, Yogendra, foremost of all the yogis. Srila Vyasadeva also great yogi. Srila Vyasadeva, Maharishi Vyasadeva, Maharishi Shukadev, Chatusham, they are all great yogis. Navayogendra, okay, who also narrated the glories of Lord in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, Nimi Maharaj, Nimi Navayogendra Samvada, we find. They are called Yogendra. So they are actually great yogis, but devotee yogis. Okay, they received the connection with Krishna. They definitely received the divine connection with Krishna through the method of the meditation in the first place. Okay, method of the genuine meditation, devotional meditation in the first place, and received the connection with Krishna in the form of Paramatma, through the aspect of Paramatma. Then they became connected with Krishna, okay, with personality form, okay, in the form of his eternal, unlimited, divine personality. Okay. They're so interrelated. Their life of yoga and life of devotional love relation with Krishna. For whom? I'm talking about for the great personalities, exalted, devoted personalities like Vyasadeva. He is, of course, in one form he is a great devotee, other form he is direct, is incarnation of Lord Narayana, Shaktavish avatar, direct empowered incarnation of Krishna. So anyway, also playing the role of great devotee. Other forms. After all, sometimes it's very mystical. After all, we are talking about mystical, divine world, so it's not all the time flowing in one way. It has various characters at the same time, simultaneous ways. So, Vasudev has got two ways of the manifestation. In one way, pure devotee of the Lord, great devotee of the Lord, great associate, devotee of the Lord. Other form, direct incarnation of Krishna, empowered. So the foremost of all the yogis like Sri Vasudeva, Shukadeva, his son, from his very birth, he was filled with the knowledge of Brahman, consciousness of the Parang Brahma. From that state he became attracted, his heart was attracted to the verses of Krishna Leela, Uttama Sloka Leela. His heart was irresistibly attracted towards the beauty, sweetness, nectarian taste of Krishna Leela. And that's how Shukadev Goswami, from a great yogi, he became a great devotee, devoted lover of Krishna. Okay, transformations happen. That's how he described about himself in the assembly of King Parikshita. Parinishthita opi nargunne uttama sloka leelaya grihita cheta rajarsya akkhanam jadadhitava. In the beginning, I was so well established, I was so deeply immersed, absorbed in some blissful consciousness of the Paranga Brahma, Nirgunna, aspect of the Lord, it's Paranga Brahma, form of the Lord. And from that state of my Paranga Brahma consciousness of blissful Paranga Brahma, my heart became irresistibly drawn, attracted towards the nectarine beauty, mellows of Krishna Leela, nectarine beauty and nature of Krishna Leela. I could not resist. Then I could realize, the world of nectarine Krishna Leela is more blissful compared to the world of my experience of Parama Brahma. I could realize, and I became a great devoted lover of the same Lord. I could have my own profoundly personal love relationship, with the same Lord, whom I was already having relationship, a very joyful relationship in the form of Parama Brahma. That was Sukadeva Goswami's experience. So back to the point. Exalted personalities like Srila Vyasadeva, Srila Sukadeva Goswami, Chatusham, who are they? Sanak Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar, Chatusham. They also have, and of course Navajogendra, they all have a yogic base. Great yogis, but devotee yogis. From that state, they come to relate to the highest world of the ecstatic loving devotion to Radha Krishna. So, back to the point. So they also had a very blissful divine experience in relation to the Paramatma. They definitely had a blissful divine relationship with same Lord Krishna in the form of Super Soul, being united with same Krishna in the form of Paramatma, Super Soul. That was also beautiful. And then thereafter they related to the same Supreme Lord, more personal love relationship, intensely personal and intense love relationship, which was more blissful, more ecstatic compared to what they had in relation to Krishna in the form of Paramatma. Okay. That's how that is described. So, thus, so the yogis of that category, so the great yogis like them, never have to come back. Okay, they are transcendental yogis, devoted yogis. So they had all beautiful and ecstatic experiences of loving union with Krishna in the form of Paramatma. They began, but that culminated in their life of pure loving devotion, Krishna Prema. Okay, when they receive that state, attain that state, okay, of the super excellent relation of ecstatic loving devotion with Krishna. Okay. Is your question answered? Or some part still remains?
I have like another 100 questions already, maybe later.
Okay. So, after the death of the material body, mundane body, those liberated yogis, they directly go to Krishna. So they are no more conditioned. Anyway, in no way they remain conditioned, influenced by the energy of Maya or mundane potency. Okay, so they directly go to Krishna Loka, to the abode. Because they become liberated, they are called Jivanamukta. While still living within this mundane body, material body, they actually already attain liberation. Like King Parikshita. Before Takshaka came and destroyed his material body, he was already liberated. He already rose. He arose beyond this mundane plane. So he was just fearless. He was not caring about the death of this material body. It did not matter to him. When King Parikshita reached that level, then it did not matter to him whether this material body remains or not. Alright, so should I answer your question, second question, or he is waiting?
Oh,
Others.
okay, one little just, so when somebody realizes Paramatma, but a little bit more unpersonally, they also can go to some planet in spiritual world, or?
Yes, definitely. That effort, okay, that achievement never goes in vain. They get upliftment to some spiritual world. So that needs to be clear. This point needs to be clearly understood. There are differences between just impersonal kind of Mayavadi yogis and devotee yogis. Those who relate to the Supreme God as Paramatma with the feelings and realization that they still remain as a part of the Paramatma, as a servitor, okay? Not that they become one with God and they become Supreme God. Okay? That is okay, quite okay. They are having loving union with the Paramatma. But the concept of the other class is that they are getting united and they are becoming one, they are becoming God. Now I am God. That's the false concept. It never becomes a reality. If you become God, then Why do you need to be reunited with God again? Why so much difference between you and Supreme God? Okay, why you are so limited and God is unlimited? Why you are so vulnerable and Supreme God is not? So it doesn't go. It's not reasonable. They cannot reasonably explain that. Why becoming a part of God, if you are God yourself, if you can become God himself or herself, then why you remained so miserable and so vulnerable, so condescended, so little, so small, okay, deluded, as some ordinary living being before you did some sadhana, just some mundane entity. God is not that. Whereas the conception of God, definition of God, just opposite to that. So the fact is that you cannot become God. You cannot be you can be connected with God, okay, and discover yourself as a part and parcel of the God in close union, okay, through service attitude, meditation, love meditation. That is good yoga, good yogic method. Other than that other one is negative. So those yogis of the negative, how to say, the negative character, negative type yogis, they do not go up on the spiritual world. They never go up. Okay, they never get liberated, they never get upliftment, spiritual upliftment. So I can understand the nature of your question. There are two divisions you have to understand, two divisions of the yogis. Okay. Cannot mix them together. Okay.
So,
who was the next?
It was him, but I have a follow-up question. Yes.
Okay.
Why is it that, for example, if I understood it, those yogis, they might follow the same system or way of meditation? How come that some actually turn to bhakta and some turn to the more impersonal aspects? What is it? Why do they, how do you say, diverge? Or what is it? You know, if they follow the same path, how do they fall to different categories?
It happens according to the inner notion, the inner motivations. Because some of them also, they want to become God. They want to take the full pride and credit for becoming God.
So they have
Almighty.
this in mind, in the
mind setup.
In the mind setup already before.
Yes, beforehand. It's a misuse. It is considered misuse of their free will. Every jiva soul is born and brought up endowed with free will. Okay, that is sanctioned by Krishna. Everyone is born with, every jiva soul is actually endowed with free will from the very beginning. So because it's a free will, there are always scopes, there are always options and scopes that it may be misused, may be properly used. Can be misused, can be appropriately used. So that notion always there, difficult to say. Because then we have to go through the sophisticated laws of karma and sophisticated, we have to go through sophisticated analysis about laws of karmas, everybody's constitutional taste and motivation, nature, why it happens. It's a huge internet, huge network, very, very sophisticated. So we cannot always explain, analyze through common principles, because individual, with every common principle, every aspect of the common principles of the analysis, the individual principle, individual ways also involved with. Some part individual, some part common. So judgment cannot be just general judgment. We cannot draw any general judgment of the reality. Something in common, something in particular. according to individual notion and motivations by either misusing or proper use of the free will. That's how it happens. Because there is always the play of the role of the free will. Therefore, we cannot make Krishna responsible for it. He has already given us free will. Free will means free will. If Krishna all the time interferes, he controls, then it cannot be defined as free will. That is controlled, preconditioned. So once the jiva souls are endowed with free will, Krishna doesn't want to interfere. Now you choose. Okay. It's like, there are a lot of analysis about it. It's like a baby, although baby coming out of a parent, but baby is individual. Although somewhat guided and, as long as baby remains under the guardianship of the parents, okay. But a baby also has freedom to choose. Therefore it falls down, cries, learns through the lessons. It happens in the life of a baby also. And sometimes parents also see, parents listen, sometimes prohibit the child, don't do it. Still they do. And they go through, they learn the lesson. And parents also allow them to learn the lesson, otherwise they will never learn. They can never have comparative study, comparative lessons in life of pains and pleasure, what is good, what is bad, what is okay, what is not okay. So, all these aspects are involved. So that is the main reason. Some background motivation. Some yogi class, they are from the very beginning of their meditation, they are more motivated to become God directly, instead of being a loving servitor of God. They want to become God himself or herself. They want to occupy the throne of the God. Okay, they think, although I am a part and parcel, once I am united with God, I become God. But it doesn't happen in reality like that. Suppose you take out some water from the ocean. When you take out some water, like drop of water from the ocean, that when it is separated, it's just a drop. It's no more ocean. But once you put back that drop of that ocean water into the ocean, then it may look like, oh, that drop became ocean, but drop remained drop. Ocean remained ocean. Drop simply got absorbed within the ocean, but ocean remained as ocean. A drop didn't become the whole, it cannot become the whole ocean. Drop is drop. But in connection with the whole ocean, now it can claim, I am in touch with the whole ocean. It's no more separated. But still, it's a part of the whole oceanic water. It cannot claim, I became the full ocean. You remained as a part of the ocean, within ocean, but you didn't become the whole ocean. Okay, but if someone considers, oh, because now I am no more drop, now I am united with the ocean, so I have got relation with the whole oceanic water, I became ocean, that's the wrong concept. Ocean remains ocean. You are simply accommodated, absorbed within oceans. Okay, if you really, sometimes what happens, if you really motivated to lose your own individual identity, then you simply lose. Then ocean remains ocean. You just lose your own individual identity. What happens for those kind of yogis? They lose their individual identity. God remains as God. They simply lose their individual identity. Lose. They don't become God. They don't experience themselves like, how many yogis will become God? God is one without second. If suppose thousands of yogis, individuals, say, I become God, I become God, I become God, then God will no more remain as one without second, unlimited. One becomes whole God and thousands of whole gods, lakhs of whole gods. How can it be? So, to understand the basic reality, character of the absolute reality. So, so what happens in the level of the Sayujya Mukti? Okay, that kind of yogi simply loses its individual entity in the Parang Brahma form of the God. That's all, finished. God remains. Parang Brahma remained as Parang Brahma, as all pervading infinite, okay, power, super power. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
All
I have
right.
another, okay, but
This is very good sign though. Okay, that you're all having queries one after another. It's a very good sign. Pariprasna, sign of pariprasna. Tadviddhi panipadena pariprasnena sevaya. Bhagavad Gita. Srila Sukadev Goswami offered so much congratulations to the nature of the queries of Parikshit Maharaj, placed by Parikshit Maharaj, saying, "Oh, great Maharaj, okay, congratulations on the nature of your questions you are placing before me, because it's the answer to all these questions you are putting before me, not only beneficial for you, but also beneficial for so many others, for everybody in the whole universe." There was Sukadev Goswami giving, how to say, praise. He was praising, speaking in praise, glorifying all the nature of the queries placed by King Parikshita. So it's a very good sign. Sign of life.
I do have a follow-up actually,
Okay.
but you have to take,
You know something? You will be following many, one after another. It is quite natural in the infinite thought line.
is it okay if I ask this one?
Okay.
If you take one step back, before you came a yogi, and if you say so, when you come, how do you say, when you as a soul came out of the Krishna factory of soul making, do you already then have this sort of propensities either for devotion or for kind of impersonality? Is it already there from the original seed for you as a soul? Or is it something, as you said, you pick up on the way, so to speak, to develop as a spiritual entity?
It's both ways.
Both ways.
Both ways. They have got some constitutional tendency, propensity or tendency. And on the other, they also have their part of the being influenced by the energy of Maya. Both. Your pinpoint question is how their free will gets affected, how their free will becomes influenced to make a choice, this or that way. That's the fundamental question. Some part, the answer to that is some part of the root cause is in their constitution, their constitutional tendency, whereas the other portion being influenced, okay, notion to be influenced also by Mahamaya energy. That's how. And why it happens, how it happens, exactly which way, it is very too sophisticated, complicated to explain. Too sophisticated. Okay. Also, there is functions of divine interventions also. Interventions of the mercy and sweet will of the Lord and pure devotees may come as a special grant of mercies, like special relief program also may come. There's also other factor. So many aspects are involved. A big play is going on all over. Big play. big play of the lives of different types, different categories, different nonsense, tendencies, hues. Ananta Koti Brahmanda. Hues. Infinite play going on all over the infinite, all over the universe, that of infinite nature, universal creation. I'm not talking about limited universe, but the unlimited nature. Universe which is unlimited, that of unlimited character and nature. Gaur Hari Bol. So, both ways are involved. Achinta Bheda Bheda. Simultaneous, both ways are simultaneously one and distinct, somewhat interrelated, inconceivable. We know it happens. Why it happens, how it happens, why should it not happen this way or that way, is difficult to be understood by limited human brain. Difficult to be fully understood. It can be partially understood. It cannot be fully understood. Only absolute mind, only absolute realization can only fully understand about what is what. Means Supreme God can. The Supreme God means Supreme Infinite can only realize about the Supreme Infinite nature of the infinite. Finite cannot. But to whatever extent, whatever way finite can realize about the infinite, because infinite mercifully makes himself known to finite. Therefore a finite can know infinite. To the extent infinite, Supreme Infinite mercifully makes himself known to finite. Finite can know him only to that extent, reserved. But finite cannot really know infinite by its own finite ability. Okay, you are waiting.
I have sort of two. One is a philosophical question, the second is just general advice.
Okay.
So the first one I'd rather not be on camera. In the Achinta Veda philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, I understand that it's thought that God's form is Krishna, that that's the supreme form. But I don't really understand if God is infinite and unlimited, surely the very nature of form is to be limited. I mean, this is my hand, and I know it's my hand because it's not my leg. It's limited right there. So how is a form unlimited?
What I have just said before is inconceivable. Form can be of unlimited nature, not limited form. We are not talking about limited form. The form in transcendence. Form, in other words, the transcendental conception of the form can be of unlimited nature, therefore it is called form in transcendence. The limited forms are not called transcendental. Okay? It's not transcending anything, it's just mundane. It's understood. It is a within mundane concept. Transcendental means transcendental. Transcending. Okay? Okay, I try to give you some relatively absolute example to explain this. What is the concept in your mind when you calculate mathematics? Because form means, anything has a form means limitation.
Yeah.
Okay, certain conceptual limitation. So, for example, take zero.
Yeah.
What is zero to you? Tell me, explain.
In my head, zero is the absence of any value. the absence of a number, means not having, to not have. I can't put it any more sophisticatedly than that. I haven't thought too much about it. But.
Okay, that's only one aspect of the conception of zero.
Okay.
Other aspect is, it is complete neutrality,
Uh-huh.
state of neutrality between plus and minus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so zero doesn't necessarily mean only negative, only minus.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a marginal, it's a marginal state between plus and minus,
Mm.
where plus minus begins from.
Yeah.
So if the plus coming out of zero,
Uh-huh.
minus on the other hand, so in one hand, so in the algebra calculation, zero in the middle, on one side plus emanating, on the other side minus emanating. So
Yeah.
plus emerging from one side minus emerging. So zero is considered to be the sum total of the both concepts, plus and minus.
Yeah.
Okay. How much plus and how much minus within that zero? Tell me.
Infinite. They cancel each other out.
So now you can reach infinite within formal concept of a zero. Understand? Zero is not a zero
Uh-huh.
because it is zero can also represent fullness, because that is the origin, that is the root of plus and minus both. When you are having the calculation in the minus stream,
Yeah.
you are still calculating. It means you have got something. Something you are still calculating. It's not totally minus. When things become totally minusly minus, you cannot even think, you cannot even conceive. Suppose light is gone from this room. It's total darkness. So darkness means it's the absence of light. But it's not absence of experience. I have got light within, light of consciousness, therefore I can experience the darkness. But in the state of total unconscious, how to say, in the total unconscious state, in the state of total fainting, absence of consciousness, you have no feeling. You have neither of the feeling, nor light nor darkness, nothing. Okay, it is zeroli zero in a negative concept, following negative concept of zero. So I am seeing the darkness. Darkness is apparently negative, minus. Okay, darkness is just darkness, nothing is there, no light. But I am still experiencing the darkness, means I am alive. I have got the consciousness, therefore I am experiencing the darkness. I can see the darkness, it is something positive. So I am also calculating all the minus calculations. Okay, minus 1, minus 2, starting minus 11, minus, okay, 100, millions, billions, all. It's still some system of calculation is going on. It means that the method of calculation is something positive, it is not minusly minus. Understand? So, whether the concept of plus or concept of minus, as long as they are active in the method of calculation, both have positive and negative sides. So back to the point. Zero, okay, zero has many aspects. It represents many aspects. One aspect, it is just minus. It is just zero, means it represents emptiness. How you say, voidism. Another aspect, it's a total state of neutrality. Marginal state, it represents marginal state between plus and minus. It is neither plus nor minus. At the same time, it's the combination of both.
It contains all.
Contains all. So which way should you define? Is it plus? Is it minus?
You can't.
Neither plus, neither minus. At the same time, it is plus, it is minus. Combination of unification of both is found. Okay. So, back to the point. I explain all this. I explain this reality in relation to your question. How form can be unlimited. if 0 can represent to the infinite, if some of the mathematical calculations at some point can represent to the infinite, certain methods of mathematical calculation just reach to the infinite. We say it to the infinite. We don't calculate anymore. Because they will be smaller than the smallest units. Understand? Or bigger than the biggest. So you cannot calculate. Still they are all formal concept. But it is such a huge form. Suppose when you conceive of the form bigger than the biggest, how it becomes to you? How it appears to you? Bigger than the biggest.
Well, it doesn't really make sense to picture.
But still it is happening. Still it is a reality. Smaller than the smallest.
Same.
Tell me. Okay, we find in our knowledge you can see 1 second. A second can be divided into 100.
Yeah.
How much scientists can go? How much the machine can reach? 100. Can it reach yet 1,000?
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know?
How finely they can.
Suppose so, we can easily find a second can be divided into 100th. Okay. But a second can also be divided into 1 billionth, trillionth, zillionth. Innumerably, to the innumerable numbers. It is possible by mathematical concept. But human brain cannot conceive it. Okay. It was too fast. So inconceivable. If a second, I repeat, if a second can be divided into 100 parts, it can also be divided into 1 million, 1 billion, 1 zillion, innumerable zillion.
That we can't conceive of.
We can conceive.
But they're contained within.
But still it's a reality.
Yeah.
Whether or not, it doesn't matter whether or not you are able to conceive. But still it's a reality. Inconceivable to us. In a similar way, it's like, therefore the great wise persons, the greatly wise men described it like in the language like smaller than the smallest. Finish. Smaller than the smallest. Appears to be self-conscious. Otherwise, there is no other way to explain this. We just try to give you some concept, something inconceivable.
Language is like a model. You can't actually give the experience.
Exactly. Okay, so because language also a form. Language means a form. The words and ways of the expression is limited form. But through a limited form, you are trying to express infinite, unlimited. Therefore, such analogies, such expressions are created. Smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. So, I just described the aspect of smaller than the smallest. In a similar way, you can also try to just imagine bigger than the biggest. Huge. Going to the infinite. Still, it can be a form, bigger than the bigger, but inconceivable. Our Guruji explained. Tell me, okay, now I question. Tell me how many buckets of water there in the ocean?
Well, I mean, the actual ocean on Earth would have a finite number. It depends on how large the bucket is. But if you just mean an infinite amount of water, then there's an infinite amount of buckets.
You can prepare just simply one bucket which will contain the whole ocean water. Just one bucket. Otherwise, so many buckets, innumerable buckets. I'm talking about this ocean has a limitation, as you said.
Yeah.
It's a limited ocean, but we are talking of the ocean unlimited.
Yeah. Okay.
So, it can be, the concept can be that unlimited ocean contains unlimited numbers, innumerable number of the buckets of water.
Yeah.
Clear? Unlimited ocean contains innumerable numbers of the buckets of water. Also, you can say it just contains one bucket of water, which one actually represents infinite.
Yeah.
One without second. That oneness is not just only a limited one number, digit of the mathematics.
Yeah.
It means one whole.
But
So it's also formal concept. Okay? So if you can try to conceive a form of oneness, one without second,
yeah.
there's no second. It's such oneness.
Yes.
And if you conceive of such form, that is the form of the Lord.
But
It is opposite to limited concept of the form.
yes. But everything you said, including the concept of the zero and the concept of the ocean, the one without second, they all point to what I would think of the Advaitic idea of the Nirguna Brahman, like without form, because like it contains everything, but to put any form of form onto it would be to limit it. And I still don't understand how.
Cannot understand if you until
But
and
why would the
unless
one
you
with
come
the-
out. Listen to me. Until and unless you come out of the prejudices of only impersonal concept, you cannot understand. But what is personal? What is impersonal? Zero also personal. Zero means impersonal concept. Zero represents impersonal. Zero means personal. Zero means marginal between personal and impersonal. Therefore, I gave you the example of zero. Okay? It represents minus, it represents plus, it represents neutrality, it represents fullness, it represents nothing or everything. Okay? Without zero, you cannot begin any kind of calculation, go any direction of calculations. So it requires some beginning point, a kind of starting point. It's starting point, at the same time, it's no starting point. Nobody knows what is the actual starting point. Zero it is not a form of digit, it's a concept.
Exactly.
We just express in this way, that way, different way.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So does that
it's
mean-
a concept. Okay, now I am explaining your concept. You want to say is the real concept of the zero is impersonal.
No, I'm not saying that's
You are
the
not
case.
saying that? Thank you. Okay.
I'm not claiming. I'm just saying it seems to me that seems if I'm doing like reasoning, that would seem to be the answer, or that like you said, it's like it's a concept. In that case, would you say
Concept means it is the combination of impersonal and personal both.
Huh.
Without personal concept, you cannot even concept the term impersonal. You cannot even think.
Yeah.
When you talk about a truly impersonal thing, okay, you cannot just imagine, you cannot even think because it's totally impersonal. Impersonal things, formless things cannot be thought out. Anything we think about, we conceive about, it got an image in our mind.
Yeah.
Okay, without having some image or seeing some color or some sort of design, we cannot even express, we cannot even feel anything. So wherever the functions of feeling, thinking, willing, whatever the functions of feelings and realizations coming, there has to be personal ways. Something totally, absolutely impersonal can never be conceived, can never be subject or object of realization in any manner. Because as soon as it becomes the subject of realization, you are realizing, experiencing something.
Yeah. It's personal then.
Personal then.
Yeah.
So both are together. Therefore, Supreme God also described in these three ways by the realized soul. Sukadev is not ordinary person. Sukadev Goswami is the son of Vasudev, spiritual. From the very beginning, he was well established in Brahma Jnana. Impersonal Brahma Jnana, you may call. But later on, he realized the same Brahma Jnana in a personal way, in the form of Krishna Leela. Same Sukadev Goswami, great yogi, from the very beginning. Understand? The impersonalist yogis become fully attracted to the personal concept of the God. Understand this? So, the conception of the absolute truth is the combination of personal as well as impersonal as well as neutral aspects.
Yeah.
All three together. You
Yeah.
cannot describe in one way. Then we limit the infinite. Okay? Again, it's not describable. But somehow or other we are discussing, so we have to just express.
Mm.
Okay? No matter how much we express about the absolute truth, it remains beyond.
Yeah.
So much more remains beyond.
Mm.
We only can have some idea,
Mm.
give some idea, have some idea towards.
Mm.
Okay. So again, back to the point. So you cannot deny form. If you deny form, you deny your own existence. You deny your own existence of realization,
Of course, I mean,
experience. So this is it.
but why?
It's not just impersonal. You just
No.
said conception of the ocean we talked about impersonal. It cannot be.
Mm.
If it is truly impersonal, you cannot talk about it. You cannot realize about it. You cannot say anything about it. Okay? No feeling. If there is no feeling, no consciousness, what remains in life? Nothing remains.
Well, no, exactly. That's why they say you can't realize, you can't attain, you can't conceive of the impersonal using your mind. There's nothing.
Therefore, Mahaprabhu said.
There's nothing to get. It's like.
Therefore, Lord Chaitanya said
Mm.
in culmination.
Mhm.
Okay, in culmination of Siddhanta, he said. He clearly explained. His nature is simultaneously one and distinct and inconceivable. Period. How that simultaneous oneness and distinctions are unified together, it is inconceivable
Mm.
by the limited human brain. But it happens, still it's a reality.
Mm. But why Krishna?
Mm.
Like why why when you say that zero is a symbol, right, like a concept, and that sounds like you're saying that Krishna is also just like a concept, like a metaphor for something greater, and that Krishna's actual form isn't.
What I said, zero is because I have to express something in a limited formal way to explain about the unlimited nature.
Yeah.
If I suppose, for example, I am taking zero
Yeah.
as symbolical way of the infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It has plus, it has minus.
Mm.
It is full of plus, full of minus. Full of neutrality in between, marginal. Okay, what is margin? Neither this nor that. At the same time, unification of both realities.
Yeah.
Meeting together in the marginal line. So, all happening, all the concepts, plus, minus, marginal, okay, marginal, how to say, reality, experience of its marginal form, okay, form of plus, form of minus, all represented within zero. Okay, so zero means emptiness, zero means fullness, zero means origin. You can take whatever way you want to take. You may take it whatever way you want to use it in mathematics. So that's what I was expressing to you. It's not just a form, it's a formless form.
But
Okay.
why is the formless form in the form of Krishna? I don't
God,
understand why.
Krishna's form is formless form. This is the best way for you to understand. Krishna's form is formless form. A form beyond all the limited concepts of the forms.
Okay.
Okay? Any form is possible which is beyond all the limited formal concepts of forms. That is Krishna's form. Therefore it's called transcendental.
Okay. And the way we know it's Krishna is because of the people, of the great souls who come before us, who've told us that that's how it is. It is in Krishna. Is that based on?
Krishna
on
is not a separate God we are talking about. Krishna means it is just one of the most dear names of the Supreme Absolute God.
Okay.
Krishna is not just one of the so many gods. You have to understand the very basic fundamental conception of the God. The infinite conception of the God. It is one without second. That is Krishna. The same all-pervading, omniscient, omnipresent, superpower personified as Krishna. Okay, called in one of his dearmost names, beloved names as Krishna.
Okay.
Okay, clear? Yeah. No more doubt, okay?
I know I'm taking up a lot of time, so I did have a question for like advice, but if someone else wants to go, then more than
I understand. I appreciate your ways of query. It is helping for clarification, you know.
I have a question that is a bit related to that. When Krishna was on earth, there was drama because there were demons and there was...
What is the time now?
10 to 10. It's very late.
Yes. A lot of enthusiasm. I know so many questions are peeping out in the minds of all the devotees. Whole night can pass. Good.
Yeah.
This is good, very good sign. We need this. We need this life. Life, God consciousness. Okay.
Yes, there was drama in the terms of material duality. There were demons, there was good and bad, there was dharma and adharma, and Krishna killed demons and he defied dharma in Vrindavan and so forth. But in the spiritual world, if there are no demons and everyone is pure, then what kind of drama, what kind of basis is there for a drama to exist?
Say again.
Okay, I can put it in another way. The question in Vaikuntha.
I understand, but still
Yeah.
I want further clarification in another form, another way.
Well, I could ask it like this: Why does Narayan carry a chakra in Vaikuntha? He doesn't need to kill any demons there, does he?
Narayan Vaikuntha, no, he doesn't need to, because there is no evil, no activity of the evil power on the plane of Vaikuntha. Okay, before I go on answering your question, I just remember a point in relation to your question, concept of the zero. In general, zero is considered to be zero, emptiness. Okay, void. But in some way, because it is created by human being, the concept of the zero.
Yeah.
We have to make it like starting point, make a start somewhere. But you're going away without taking prasad? No prasad. Okay. But if we can create another digit which is opposite to the emptiness, that's what I was also talking about, which represents infinite. No emptiness, but fullness, complete fullness. Okay. So there is we may try to conceive a digit, conceive a symbol which represents complete fullness, also complete emptiness. Okay, together. Because fullness cannot be conceived without emptiness. Emptiness cannot be conceived without the concept of fullness. Both are intertwined. Okay, mystically, very mysteriously unified together in the infinite. Okay, because finites are also there within infinite. All the parts of infinite considered infinitesimal part, finite. But because, another aspect, because it's a part of the infinite, it also has got infinite quality. Part of infinite, also infinite. Though finite, but at the same time, it is infinite. That both aspects are there. Okay? Even in the infinitesimal part of the infinite, the full infinite nature is represented. inconceivable. Don't try to conceive, but I'm just explaining.
Mhm.
Don't try to conceive. It is inconceivable. Something inconceivable should not be conceived. Period. Something inconceivable, so we should not make any effort to try to conceive something inconceivable in the first place. Okay. But still it is possible. It appears to be self-contradictory, but it's not self-contradictory. Okay, it's self-complementary. Positive and negative. Same time. Self-contradictory, personal, impersonal ways. So, form and formlessness both go together in the absolute reality. Okay. Energy also has got subtle form. When you in the field of impersonal conception, suppose energy conception. Whenever you talk about anything impersonal, mostly it comes in our mind energy concept, concept of the power. But that also got subtle form. Subtle form. Some machine is not discovered as yet. If that machine is discovered, the atomics, in the quantum physics level also, you can see things. Very, very subtle level, you can also see things, how they are moving. Okay. Even it's smaller than the smallest level of this energy form, but still it's not impersonal. It has got personal aspect also, even in the atomic level, super small atomic level.
Distinct particles.
Yeah, distinct particles. So how can it be totally impersonal? How can it be totally formless? So it's a relative concept. So actually relative conception when we call or we say something form or formless. It's a relative concept.
Yeah.
Understand? Clear. Okay. Sorry. I interrupted. I just wanted to completely clarify this to him. Okay. How the concept of the infinite form can go together with formlessness. It's basically the same reality, expressed in formless or formful way, formless way and formful way. Okay, same reality. Okay. It cannot be completely called. It cannot be called as completely impersonal or completely personal. It is what it is. Understand? Formlessness, impersonal and personal character, both unified together in an inconceivable way. So, conception of the hues form is equal to hues impersonal form. Concept of the hues impersonal representation of the same supreme absolute reality equals to hues form to the infinite. Form of the infinite, not finite. Inconceivable, don't try to conceive. But still, it's a reality as it is. Okay. Therefore, Supreme God described in three ways: Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Same reality. Same supreme absolute reality of infinite nature described in these three ways. Sorry. Say again. Yes.
Yes, so
Narayana doesn't require to to engage in killing demoniac entities, okay, killing the demons or evil forces on the plane of Vaikuntha. Okay, it's clear.
and Krishna doesn't also need to save the residents of Vrindavan from danger in Goloka.
Basically, that's right. This is Bhoma Vrindavan. There's some subtle difference between the nature of original abode of Krishna Loka, called Goloka Vrindavan, and its representation on this earthly plane called Bhoma Vrindavan. So Krishna required to kill some of the demons, okay, evil entities on this Bhoma plane. Okay, it's not at all required on the absolute explain on his original abode, Krishna Loka, Goloka, because no such question arises over there, no such question of having any demoniac activities or demons activity arises over there. But because all the Krishna Leelas are of eternal nature, Nitya Leela, so the Rupa Goswami Prabhu explained this reality in this way. In the original Krishna Loka, Krishna's bhoma pastimes remain like some sort of memory, like history, not really happening, like portrait on the wall. Some portrait on the wall. That's on such and such era, such and such kalpa, on bhoma Vrindavan, Krishna did this Leela. Okay. But it's not, in other words, all those Krishna's pastimes of demon killing remain in the original abode of Goloka, Krishna Loka, as in a passive way, like some memory, historical memory, not active way. Understand? So, and Krishna's engagement in killing the demons also incorporates different aspects of Leela, not just only freeing the Mother Earth from the burden of the evil force, not just only delivering the Mother Earth from the from the influence of the oppressive evil power, but also for himself to enjoy Vira Rasa. He wants to relish mellows of heroism, one of the 12 kind of the rasas. So unless that scope is created, Krishna cannot enjoy these rasas of the heroism, cannot relish it. So that's why that scope also created by Yogamaya, Krishna's energy. Mahamaya or Yogamaya, all as per sweet will of Krishna. So, they are real, at the same time dramatic, both. Achinta Vedavit again. It is useless to think some demon will fight with the Almighty. It cannot be reasonably understood how much ability, how much strength, how much power a demon can have compared to the Almighty.
No, he has everything from the Almighty.
Infinitely powerful.
Yeah.
It's all play. Okay. No demon can challenge Krishna's power. If Krishna just wills in his mind to kill that demon, just in mind, it's killed, destroyed. He doesn't need to fight even. Krishna means he is having that kind of power. Just by willpower, he can destroy the whole demon. All the evil powers, all over the universe. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna just explained about the reality to Arjuna. I have already killed. As Mahakalo, I have already killed all these. Okay, whom you have to fight with, whom you are thinking you will fight and kill. I have already killed them beforehand. You just become instrumental. Just do your duty. Okay, as the Mahakal, they are already killed, and that is already represented in the womb of future time. It has not yet come yet. Okay. I can take over past, present and future. Human beings cannot go. They cannot occupy past, present and future. But Supreme God can do that, can travel, can be simultaneously present in past, present and future, which is inconceivable in human concept. One can be present in past, present, future in simultaneous way. So, Krishna already explained to Arjuna. He showed it through Vishwarupa. Okay. he saw in what's going to happen in the future. He saw it beforehand through Vishwarupa. In the Mahakala Rupa, in a symbolical way, the heads of those warriors of the Kauravas are just, how to say, got entangled, how to say in English. Somehow they are all between the jaws of the Mahakala, jaws of the teeth in the Mahakala. All the heads, the great warriors, all found in between the teeth of the jaws of the Mahakala Rupa of Krishna. Already killed. Now he simply asks you to become instrumental. Do what I say. Then no sin will touch you. Because you are following dharma. In order to protect dharma, you have to destroy adharma. You are Kshatriya. You are responsible to protect the good against evil. If you don't do your duty, then sin will touch you. But when you engage in the dharma yuddha without your personal revenging temperament, your personal revenge, your personal vindictive attitude, just you are doing for duty's sake, then no sin will touch. Because you are not doing that yuddha, you are not fighting, you are fighting for justice, you are fighting for dharma, for truth, for the justice, okay, for protecting the good against evil. Something noble you are doing. So therefore, no sin will touch. But if you fight the same fight with some personal attachment of revenge or any motivations, okay, of winning this kingdom, this and that, then sin will touch you. Just go beyond all the motivations, mundane motivations. Or your personal attachment or detachment, personal, okay, interest. What to speak more of revenging. And just do the duty. Do your holy duty for duty's sake. What you are supposed to do. Okay? So you are being instrumental in the hand of the supreme truth. Supreme reality. No sin will touch you. And Arjuna did that. Therefore it's called Dharma Yuddha. War for peace, war for justice, war for truth, war for protecting good against evil. Okay. So Krishna says, in some way, that war was war of non-violence. Can you imagine? On principle. Because the very principle behind that war, what Pandavas are fighting, Arjuna was fighting, was to protect non-violence against violence, peace against the unrest, good against the evil, life against the death. Okay. So therefore, although it is battlefield, the battling activity, but still it's non-violent. It's not violence, because offense against the offense is not considered offense. It's called defense. I repeat, offense against offense means defense. Violence against violence means non-violence. In a certain way. Otherwise, there is no other way open. Lord Krishna tried. Both times he went. Both times he went as the messenger of non-violence peace. Wanted to make peace with the Kauravas. They did not accept. And if they continue to live like that, the good will be destroyed. Evil power will take over. There is no other way. So Krishna came back and declared Dharma Yuddha. It is Yuddha but Dharma. Based on Dharma. No Adharma Yuddha. Period. Therefore Krishna said, explained in Bhagavad Gita, it appears to be self-contradictory. He explained such a reality in Bhagavad Gita, it appears to be self-contradictory, but actually that is the reality. It's the self-effulgent reality. He said, there is a position of a warrior You can destroy the whole world. Still you don't destroy anything. No sin of destruction touches you. Because you simply become instrumental in the hand of Mahakala. Okay? Principle of creation, maintenance and destruction. All taken care of by Mahakala. Mahakala is beyond the concept of sin and virtue. It is what it is. It's doing its activity. It's doing the duty. Okay. Cannot be judged in a limited way whether virtuous action or sinful activity. It is what it is. Okay. It's beyond the concept of sins and virtues or neutrality. Okay. From the same, by the creation, maintenance, sustenance and destruction taken care of this by the same energy, cosmic energy, superpower, beyond any concept of sin or virtue. See, I am branching out in relation to answering your question.
No, you have answered it already.
Okay. All right. So.
Yes.
All right. Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the divine messenger of Krishna Prema, divine messenger of Krishna consciousness, ecstatic love of Krishna. We are eternally indebted to Lord Chaitanya, Lord Gauranga, for this. Krishna himself came to give himself. Who can give? Who can give in charity? About supreme, absolute, infinite reality, supreme, absolute, divine reality, divine, the personification of supreme, absolute reality. Only he or she can do. Only the supreme, absolute, divine can distribute about himself or herself. Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was realized to be the manifestation of that absolute good. Though it look like manifest in a personal way, in a limited way, in certain way, under certain limited time, place, situation, yet it was the manifestation of the supreme absolute divine truth. Okay, so we stop here or we can continue. Whole night can pass like this. When we are alive with enthusiasm, with joyful eagerness, very much enthused to learn more and more, to continue topics about Krishna, with dynamic enthusiasm. Time is nothing before it. We have got such experience. Hours and hours, so tired, physically so tired. Almost falling asleep. All of a sudden, something happened wonderful in such a way in the discussion of topics about Krishna. Eyes got bigger and bigger, all sleeping, vanished. Mode of sleeping just vanished, disappeared for a while. As soon as, as we fell down from that level to the normal mundane state, fell down from that level of Krishna consciousness releasing, Krishna consciousness with so much enthusiasm, then fell felt like sleeping and all these feelings came back. Happens. World of wonderful experience, often mystical, divinely mystical, divinely, mystically beautiful, nectarine experience. It is. Okay.
We also have a satsang tomorrow, so put your questions if you have, and have some more.
Any program in the morning?
We have not spoken about tomorrow morning, but we have Mangalarati at 6. Will we have class maybe at 8 or something? Do we expect this?
If you want so, yes. Class at 8.
Okay.
Just only with the devotees here, or
Yeah.
others will also come?
Those who want to come, it's normally 2, 3, 4 more that come. So it will be a more intimate. Do you feel it's okay?
Make it rather around 9 o'clock.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay. Okay, so then we have 2 more opportunities to ask questions and to hear everything.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to sing a Mahamantram just for 5 minutes
Sure.
with your guitar?
We have already sung Jaya Radha Madhava, but I like to mention how we do this.
Okay.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Mira, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Mira, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Mira, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopika, Jaya Jaya Gopika Vallabha, Jaya Giridharadhari, Jaya Giridharadhari, Jaya Gopika, Jaya Jaya Gopika Vallabha, Jaya Giridharadhari, Jaya Giridharadhari, Yashodananda 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 Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, 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 Jaya Gopika Vallabha, Jaya Giridharadhari,
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gaurapavanandi.
Very sweet. I love the way you sing.
Thank you.
Tomorrow also you will play guitar while I sing.
Sure.
Okay, you can play guitar.
Okay, we thank you so much for this and for coming here and for staying for another day and for this evening. And we say Srimad Bhakti Nandan Swami Maharaj ki Jai.
It's also also special pleasure on my part. I'm so happy.